Hello, welcome to Shield of Faith. Today I'd like to talk about how world leaders, globalists, these so-called powers that be, are working together. The world is not how it seems. They're all working together to crash the current financial and political systems around the world. They want to roll in a one world currency, a one world government, a new world order. And they're going to do this through something called the Great Reset. You don't have to take my word for it. Here it is in their own words. They're not even trying to hide it any longer.
The young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the world economic forum. We penetrate the cabinets.
The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset. So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen. The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
It's a very pertinent question to ask, how do we build back better?
You have a chance to reset the clock and build back better than before.
To build back better than before.
Remember the terrible damage of COVID as we try to build back from this global pandemic.
Joe Biden calls it Build Back Better.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To do things differently. To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
My plan to build back better.
Start taking all the problems that have been created in education and mental health and start to build back in a positive way.
I have launched a booklet called Build Back Better, Britain After Coronavirus.
It's about building this country back better.
It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
Build back better.
Building back better our economy.
Build back better.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset. This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
It's a big effort to, some would say, to build back better. We would say to really have a great reset.
So this Great Reset, it's going to fundamentally change the way we live our lives. And it requires that they not only control your country, but the world population. They know that they can't just spring this on everybody. They can't tell the world that, well, the government's going to own everything now, you're going to own nothing, and you're going to like it. They know people won't go along with that. So they had to test this theory out. They had to figure out a way, how can we control the population, but in a way that they're begging to be controlled? And we've been playing that test out for the last 2 years with this medical emergency that we've been going through. It's a test. It's a test to see if they can control not just a region, but the world. And, you know, in their eyes, we passed. We passed with flying colors. But unfortunately for us, we failed. I mean, we failed miserably. Because what did most people do? Most people locked themselves in their homes. They closed their businesses. They put muzzles on their children. And ultimately, in the end, they lined up by the droves to have experimental poison put into their bodies. We failed. We failed miserably. And they seen it. And they were watching. And now it's a green light. It's a green light for the Great Reset. But now the story of this medical emergency is beginning to fall apart. So now they have to hide their crimes against humanity. And what's the best way to do that? It's through distraction. What's the best distraction throughout world history? It's war. And now we have this convenient war with Russia and Ukraine. Ever since this war began, how much have you heard about this medical emergency? Basically nothing. It's gone. All eyes are on Russia and the Ukraine. And it's going to spill over. I don't know if it's going to spill over with physical war with other countries, but it's definitely going to spill over financially. And the country that's going to feel the brunt of that more than any other is the United States. Because since the Second World War, the United States has held the status of the world reserve currency. And we're going to lose that. And a lot of people are sort of in denial about that. But we're going to lose it because the Great Reset requires it. And when the United States loses the world reserve currency, we basically become a third world country. Our dollar is backed by nothing. It's a fiat currency, and they all know it. So just imagine, overnight you lost your 401k. Overnight you've lost your pension. Overnight you've lost all your assets. You know, some people are going to be very angry about that, but they already know how we're going to react. We're going to be looking for solutions, like how can I get it back? How can I not lose what I just lost? And convenient for them, they already have the solution, the Great Reset. See, one of the things that they're floating around right now is that if you own your home, well, you don't own it anymore, the government owns it, but you get to stay in it as long as you follow our rules. If you have a bunch of debt, whether it's credit card debt, student loans, whatever, well, we'll wipe that debt out. It'll be clean, but you have to follow our rules. So basically your lifestyle and your home become your prison. And one of the ways that they're going to further this control is through climate change. It's just another way to globally control the world population. They're even calling for climate lockdowns.
Climate lockdown could be called for. Just like a COVID lockdown, a climate lockdown. Marc Morano is an author who has written a lot about climate change. He founded Climate Depot. He joins us tonight. Marc, thanks so much for coming on. A climate lockdown. Now, I would laugh this off the table, except we all just lived through the last 18 months, so we know that anything is possible. What does this mean exactly?
Well, you know, in my book, Green Fraud, I detail 2 chapters on this, Tucker. This is the climate activists were, first of all, jealous when the COVID lockdowns happened. They were beside themselves saying, how is this happening? Everyone from Greta Thunberg to John Kerry, UN officials. And then they started saying, we need to follow this. If we can shut down for a virus, we can shut down for climate. And that's what we're seeing. There's even academics in Australia proposing adding climate change to death certificates. And Bill Gates has said the death toll will be greater. So they're following every step of the way. And it's not just, you know, a professor here or someone in academia. We have a major UK report coming out. We have an international agency report that came out calling for essentially the same type of lockdowns. Everything from restrictions on your thermostat to restrictions of moving. You know, you can only fly in a climate emergency when it's, quote, morally justifiable. You know, kind of like a lockdown, you have to justify going to the store for essential services. They're going after freedom of movement. They're going after private car ownership. They're going after everything it means to be a free person and turning it over to the administrative state.
The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
Now, some people might be thinking, well, I'm going to fight against this, or I'm going to protest against this, or maybe I can vote my way out of this. Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, you're not going to vote your way out of this, and you're not going to fight your way out of this. You know, if you're a Christian that follows the Bible, you know that this is written. It's prophesied, and we know it's coming to pass. You know, but it's not a time to stick our head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. It's just the opposite. You know, we should be bringing awareness to this, letting people know that no one else is coming to save them. Donald Trump is not going to save you. The Virgin Mary is not going to save you. Buddha is not going to save you. The New Age movement's not going to save you. There's only one person that's going to save you from this, and that is Jesus Christ. You know, and that's what we should be doing as Christians, is spreading the good news, spreading the gospel that he died on that cross so that our sins could be forgiven, right? That he rose on the 3rd day so that we could be reconciled with the Father, so that we could meet him in heaven. You know, he paid the debt that we can't pay on our own, so that we could be saved. You know, God gave us free will. And with that free will, we have to make choices. And time is running out. I'm praying that people make the right choice. Are you going to put your faith and belief in this world, or are you going to put your faith and belief in Jesus Christ? See, he's knocking on the door. It's up to you to open it and take his hand. Now, if you like these type of videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. It just helps this channel grow. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And check out my Rumble channel as well. I can upload things there that I can't upload here on YouTube. And until next time, stay safe out there, and God bless.